have a challenge for you. Comment down below your top 10 strongest character in God Valley, and whatever post get the most like, I will post it on my main channel at the community so hundreds of thousands of people can see your top comment. So right now, comment down below and like whatever post you agree the most. Let's see who's gonna win this reward. With that said, let us start at number 20 with Stussy and the lover of Whitebeard. You know how I know she's the lover of Whitebeard? Not because she's saying so and possibly having a child with Whitebeard and the fact that we saw her on the shoulder of Whitebeard, but the fact that she was nagging Whitebeard. The nag devil fruit is the only power that a lover has. Stussy is a vampire scientist, and her being a scientist possibly make her the weakest character among the top famous characters of this war. But nonetheless, if she can take Whitebeard in any metaphorical or literal way, she is going to be a very strong character. And the fact that the number 20 of this list is her is proving how amazing this list is. Number 19, we have yet another woman who aged worse than milk, the old granny of Amazon Lily, the previous queen of the island. Now clearly she is a hottie and some people believe that she might be the mother of Yamato, which I love it, but nonetheless, I assume at best case scenario she might be equal to Boa Hancock. Now don't take me wrong, Boa Hancock is considerably strong for her own league, but I don't think she's a legend material yet. So even assuming old granny is equal to Boa Hancock, which I don't think is true, at number 19 is where she belongs. Next character is Silver Axe, and we only know his name and recently his face, and also the fact that he's yet another legendary character that Moria the Grave Robber stole and added to his own island. The fact that Moria had the audacity of stealing so many legends is just making me mad, and I am very surprised that the fanbase was actually correct about the identity of Silver Axe. And now that we are talking about the Grave Robber Moria, I have a theory. Remember the moments Doflamingo and all the pacifistas wanted to kill Moria? Doflamingo said somebody way above Sengoku gave me the order. Now, what if that person is Garling? Because again, Gorosei just saved the ass of Moria, and Doflamingo was withholding information, and I think Garling is the type of person who hates weaklings, and we know that Doflamingo most likely received his order from a top celestial dragon. I don't know why Garling should personally persecute Moria, but I think he fits the description that Doflamingo was giving to us. But next, we have Captain John, the character with the second greatest pirate treasure in the entire story of One Piece. Captain John had the opportunity of becoming a great pirate, or maybe even a Yonko if only he didn't die 3 years after God Valley War. He died protecting his legendary treasure, something that Buggy is after that. So I really don't know what is the treasure of this drunken legend, but I assume he's more significant to this story. Next, we have yet another legendary character from Rock's Pirate, Ochoku. And actually, I have few reasons to believe that Ochoku is stronger than Captain John and Silver Axe. Firstly, Captain John and Silver Axe died very soon, but Ochoku was an active great pirate up to 1 year ago. Ochoku, whether is a she or he, was the ruler of the pirate hive. It was Xebec first, now it's Teach, in the middle, and probably for 20 years it was Ochoku. So narratively, the importance of Ochoku is much higher than Captain John and Silver Axe. In fact, Oda is not showing us his or her face, meaning he has plans for Ochoku. But now allow me to give a very risky option. What if Kaido belongs here? Now I understand this is a very young Kaido, and the 3 previous characters that I named from Rock's Pirates were established prime legends. But if a 5-year-old Big Mom can destroy an island of Elbaf, a 21-year-old Kaido is probably very broken as well. So even though Kaido wasn't a devil fruit back then, and I have no idea if he has advanced hockey, 21 for a beast monster like him is a lot of age. Next, we have the double axe man of the Roger Pirates, Scupper Gabon. And even though there is not a lot of feats or hype for the left-hand man of Roger, the hype of being the left-hand man of Roger is a lot. And in the filler, he was equally fighting with a non-prime Odin, and to me, a non-prime Odin is stronger than the 21-year-old Kaido with no devil fruit and advanced conquer hawk. So logically speaking, Skapagaban should be above Kaido without a question. Before talking about my top 10, I have a special message to all of you. You can subscribe now and that would be the end of it. But if you don't, I will track you, I will find you, and I will kiss you. For number 10, I want to be extremely generous and extremely biased by hailing Bogart as number 10 in this list. I mean, after decades of waiting, we actually saw Bogart during God Valley. For God's sake, how old is this man? What is his rank? What is his full name? We don't know anything other than the fact that he is the right-hand man of God. I mean, if Whitebeard had Odin, if Roger had Rayleigh, it makes sense for Garp to have a badass, very strong swordman right-hand man. I mean, if Bogart is not significantly strong, honestly, that's on you, Oda. I have every right to assume you didn't do Garp dirty and didn't give him a dead weight for carrying into the God Valley battle. I want Bogart to be strong because I absolutely loved him in the live action of One Piece, and I believe disrespecting him is directly disrespecting Garp. But now let's talk about young Big Mom, because I have a lot of hope in this character. Because odds are this Big Mom won't forget that she has advanced conquer hockey and can use it. This Big Mom is not 900% obese and haven't sat on her fat juicy ass for the next 25 years. The skill of this Big Mom should be significantly more than the Wano Big Mom. But the power of Big Mom in Wano should be significantly more than this version of Big Mom, which makes the actual prime Big Mom all that skill and all that power in one person very broken. But young Big Mom doesn't have Zeus, she's 30 and not at her prime, so with all given said, 9 I believe it's a safe position for her. I have a problem with characters like Rayleigh, Ryuma, and Mihawk. Their hype on paper seem legit, but on screen, I am not convinced that he belonged anymore. In fact, Mihawk and Ryuma can make much better case than Dark King Rayleigh. Don't get me wrong, as far as fame and glory go, Dark King Rayleigh is even above some of the Yonko, but in terms of feats and achievement, he's not. At least as of now. I want Oda to give Rayleigh more hype, and honestly saying that Rayleigh is Yonko level and very strong is the easiest call in the universe. But I won't make it until Oda show me some feats of power on screen and not in filler from Rayleigh. But next we have Ishiki, who for a fact has his devil fruit, because he said in this chapter, I can make people fly, which implies very obviously that he is a devil fruit user during the time of God Valley. Even though Shiki is a loser throughout history, he lost God Valley, he lost Edward, he lost to Marine, but he always was a very powerful person and a rival of Roger, so I cannot look down at him and put him below Rayleigh as of now with any reason and logic that can convince me. Again, even if I'm wrong about Shiki and Rayleigh, I have no objective reason to say I'm wrong. And also we had a bit of a ranking system from Oda himself in chapter 1096 that put Shiki below Whitebeard but above Big Mom, making him very obviously above Big Mom among the Rocks Pirates, knowing that he has to be even older than him. Up next we have Saint Figureland Garling, an actual demon god with advanced conquer hockey, an awakened demon devil fruit, and possibly magic in one character. He lived for centuries. I don't believe any regular top tier can be above him. It will take something special for a character to be above any of the Gorosei member, in my humble opinion. I mean, originally I was very extremely against the idea of any of the Gorosei be this strong. But now that Oda went full power and hyped them to the moon and back, now I want to go on his direction and also back up their hype. If they are 5 demon kings who are serving Im-sama for centuries and they haven't died yet, it makes sense for them to be extremely strong. So number 6 belongs to Saturn. One character among the celestial dragons to me is obviously even above Saturn. Saint Figureland Garling. People are willing to hype Dragon among top 3 because he's the son of Garp and father of Luffy, but some people have doubt about Garling while he's the father of Shanks. And we have a direct statement from Whitebeard that whenever I see your face, Shanks, the scar I got from that bastard itches, implying 99.9999% that Garling at some point of time, hopefully during God Valley, gave a very fatal scar to Whitebeard. So there is a chance for Garling to even be stronger than Whitebeard during this specific time. And even in chapter 1096, it was Garling and the rest of the Holy Knights who went and stopped Roger, meaning 99% if we get an actual full history of God Valley, we're gonna see a moment of Garling going toe-to-toe against Roger. Everything is telling me that this man is a great titan of his own generation. And since Garling looks younger than the rest of the legends, there is a chance for him to be significantly stronger than Rayleigh, Garp, and so on at old age because he is actually younger. So I hail Shanks' father at rank 5th. But let's go to top 4. As I said, there is a chance for Garling to be above Whitebeard. But this is Whitebeard we are talking about. We cannot downplay him. But we also know for a fact that Whitebeard prime age and peak was 38, but right now he is 36 years old and we don't even know if he has his devil fruit or not. So doubting his power at this specific time makes sense to me. But at prime, I clearly have him above Garp. Why? Because Garp and Sengoku are saying that Whitebeard is above us, and I cannot find one logical reason why these two great marine should hail Whitebeard as superior to themselves and disagree with them. Prime Whitebeard is a different story, but this is clearly not Prime Whitebeard. And again, the gap between Whitebeard and Garp and Roger should be very, very, very tiny, so at this specific point of time, he is number 4. Because all in all, God Valley is about 3 legendary D members, Roger, Garp, and Xebec. And I'm gonna rank them now. At the beginning of God Valley, Garp and Roger were against each other, but by the end of this long battle, both of them will fight against the wrong pirates. Why? I don't know. I'm gonna make many theories on it later on, but for now, I don't know. But based on what Sengoku said and what we have seen in recent chapters, it is Xebec and Roger who are matched together, and Garp is the odd one out. Xebec is the greatest rival of Roger and not Garp. So to me, the idea that Garp, while being among the top 3 most important and strongest character of God Valley makes perfect sense. The top 2 should belong to Xebec and Roger, 2 most legendary D members. And honestly, choosing between Roger and Xebec is an extremely hard job to do. Let's not forget that Roger was the winner of God Valley. He's the man who had wealth, fame, power. He is the pinnacle of the entirety of One Piece. He is the man that Prime Whitebeard is even once fought him equally. For all we know, Xebec was also a hockey user and not a devil fruit based fighter because he's going after a devil fruit. And yet Xebec's own underling, Kaido, is hailing Roger's hockey to be number 1 and not the hockey of Xebec. Roger is the joy boy who didn't have Nika devil fruit. He can very well easily be the strongest of all time minus the old gods of One Piece world. In this chapter, Whitebeard rejected the idea that I, Whitebeard, am the underling of Xebec, so it takes away a point from Xebec. And the only real argument that I am seeing in favor of Xebec is the fact that both Garp and Roger fought him. But wait, does anybody believe Shiki is above Garp? Garp and Sengoku went to defeat him. Does that mean Shiki is stronger than Garp and Sengoku? No, we all know that's not the case. But why should we hail Xebec as stronger than both Garp and Roger when the same scenario happened? Nobody said Roger and Garp had to work together in order to defeat Xebec. We just know it happened. It is the same exact scenario as of now with Shiki versus Garp and Sengoku. So this is not really a big legitimate argument. What I'm trying to say is that objectively speaking, even as of now, Roger has the upper hand, and that's the fact. But this would be a dark day when Rock's review turn against Rock's D Xebec. So, For the sake of Shonen and the big bad guy of the old generation and the greatest rival of Roger, I'm gonna go with Xebec as number 1 and Roger as number 2. I'm just saying that Roger above Xebec, as of now, makes more sense on screen. And that's just fact. But my gut feeling is go with Xebec. I don't know, maybe Kaido was too young to realize that Xebec Haki is actually more significant than Roger. I don't know, I'm just gonna go with Xebec as number 1 as of now. It's not hurting anybody. Xebec is number 1, Roger at number 2, and Garp at number 3 makes the most sense to me as of now. I'm just saying that picking Roger is a safer option as always. With that said, this is my top 20 list of God Valley War. Do not forget to post your own comments and like the comment that you agree the most. I will post that and I will show you guys the respect that I have for your opinion. I hope you enjoyed this video and I see you all at Laugh Tale.